Margaret. Oh, Margaret is here. Margaret, hi. Okay. Hi, Margaret. Она не слышит нас. Oh, Graham is here. Okay, он так выполз. Okay, Graham is here. Маргарет, вы слышите нас? Слышите? А мы вас не слышим. Мы не слышим вас. I see Marcella, Mikhail, Rebecca with her team, and Margaret and Graham.
Yes, can you hear us now?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, good.
Once again, good morning for you and good evening for us. Yeah. Let's start with the introduction. Near me you see Marta Olcott. She's from Michigan State, and she's our partner. Also, you see Harry and Maksat. They are from American Council, representatives of American Council, and also our students, faculty, and PhD students. Okay, let's start with a welcoming speech of the floor is yours, Mark.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to see you all. You want me to explain about our partnership?
Yeah.
I'm here as part of a partnership between Michigan State University and Al-Farabi University, especially between James Madison College at Michigan State University and the Faculty of International Affairs at Al-Farabi University. We have had a memorandum of understanding for the past few years, and we've received 2 PhD students from the Faculty of International Affairs, including our speaker tonight, who is Fatima and my PhD student. I've been coming to the university the last 3 or 4 years as a visiting professor, and we have had some grants that we have discharged collectively. And one of the reasons I'm here right now was because we had a 2-day conference on a workshop on transport and connectivity in the Greater Central Asian region that had participants from Kazakhstan, from Kyrgyzstan, from Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, Afghanistan, and China. We look forward to a deepening cooperation between the 2 universities, to offering joint courses at some point, and working with master students together.
Okay, thank you. Let's start with our program, and first, if everybody is okay, I'm going to give a floor to Tolganay just to start our conference, and Tolganay is going to tell you about Kazakhstan education, some maybe problems of our education, and then we can start our discussion. Is it okay for everybody? Okay. Tolganay, please.
Is it fine? Hello, dear all. My name is Tolganay Ormusheva. I am PhD student of Kazakh National University, International Relations Department, and today I'm speaking on sustainable development and higher education in Kazakhstan. As we all know, sustainable development consists of 3 branches: economic, environmental, and socio-political. And education is one of the most important factors in a whole development process. About education in Kazakhstan, since our independence existence, since 1991, After the declaration of Kazakhstan's independence, the Republic immediately set about reforming its education policy. These reforms can be conceptualized as occurring in 4 distinct stages. The first one is 91-94. It was focused on largely on forming legislative basis for higher education. The second one is 95-98. This stage involved active measures aimed at modernizing Kazakhstan's higher education, especially introducing a new list of specialties consisting of 342 specialties. The third stage is 1999 and 2000s. This stage can be characterized by decentralization of education management and financing, including by expanding the academic freedom of education organizations, particularly by providing professors more time to pursue academic research. The first stage has been in process since 2001. This stage is characterized by the Kazakhstan's entrance into Bologna process and introducing 3 stages of education: bachelor's, master's, and PhDs. Now government of Kazakhstan is taking active measures aimed at reforming its science and educational system, focusing on adapting these systems to modern standards and including domestic systems in the global scientific and educational community. For example, Kazakhstan for too long was focused purely on adapting its education system to meet international standards. Although education reforms were undertaken from the first months of independence, education wasn't included in the concept of Kazakhstan's greater development until the concept of sustainable development was adopted. So we can see that 2/3 of Kazakhstan's independence, the education wasn't included into the greater concept, but now this was improved. While the Ministry of Education continues to play a role in influencing the supply of specialists to meet the demands of Kazakhstan's contemporary economy, its policies have not been wholly effective. For example, in May 2012, the news agency Rating KZ published a study assessing the success of Kazakhstan's graduates in finding jobs. According to the results of the study, 51% of the graduates reported that they were working in a job that reflected their area of study. The survey also showed that many graduates believe that their diplomas would have a little significance for their future professional careers. More than a quarter of respondents reported that their diplomas didn't help them at any point of their jobs. That's what Rating KZ says. The government of Kazakhstan has aimed to address these problems in recent years. The country adopted the state education program, which provided guidance for what may well become a fifth stage of providing quality education for sustainable growth of economy. Among the problems, the state education program addresses the issue of the structural mismatch of Kazakhstan's graduates with the direction of the country's economic development. The program calls for the expansion of the country's supply of economic specialists with a specific focus on industrial development and innovation. Analysis of the issue in reforming Kazakhstan's system of education, of higher education in the context of sustainable development is thus a useful tool for understanding and challenges faced by post-Soviet countries seeking to adopt new development models. The case of Kazakhstan can show the unique challenges which are faced by these states largely stem from shortcomings in attempt to rapidly reform both economic and social norms following the independence, after gaining independence. So that's what I wanted to say, and if you have any questions, comments, you are more than welcome. Thank you.
Okay, participants, it's a, short introduction about our system of higher education, and maybe you have some questions or about sustainability or reforms in our higher education. Please, you are welcome. With some comments maybe and some questions.
I'd be interested to know what in general you see as the major current challenges in the higher education system right now in Kazakhstan. Hello?
Let me start, Graham. Hi. I think that the main challenge it's quality of our education, because we are in a process from the transition process from Soviet education to the education in Bologna. We joined Bologna agreement, and I think we have a lot of challenges, and one of them is a quality, because we partly in the Soviet period. I mean, we have a lot of features in our education from the Soviet period, but also we want to enter the global education space, and that is why we have some disbalance between our education and the education that we want to have in the future.
I think one of the main challenges is that our specialties are very broad one, and there are no degrees. I mean, like in American studies, especially, or in European studies, we have international relations in a broad, meaning. But we don't have this. How to say? I forgot this word in English. Узкоспециальные, как?
It's on majors.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I have a question. No?
It's from our MA student.
Hello. There is also a problem of the languages. I mean that we have 3 languages, but we don't study fully. And for example, English language, we have English groups from, I think, last year only. 4 years, yes. Yes, but it's still, we don't have enough, for example, how to say, fully English lessons, and not enough data and teachers also.
Okay, thank you for teachers. Okay, some comments, questions.
Okay, I have a question. Hello? You hear me? Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I have a question about the current level of support for your PhD candidates to do some research work in the West. My university hosted one PhD candidate, Mr. Almas Seydumanov, but with budgetary restrictions that we all have, it's becoming more difficult. So my question is, what is the current level of support for your PhD candidates to visit, to do library research work in Canada or the United States? And also, reciprocally, what is the current situation with visiting professors from the West? Your master's candidate mentioned that you are lacking this sort of education, but I know that there is lots of enthusiasm, at least in some of the circles I know, to visit and to do some lecturing in Kazakhstan. So what is the situation both with visiting students, and are there any supports for the visiting professors from the West to teach in Kazakh universities, or is it mainly the question of individual grants? Thank you.
Thank you, Mikhail. Please, our PhD students will answer.
About the support of PhD students going to West, it's not only supportive character, it's kind of obligatory stuff. You have to go and do your research for 4 months or for 2 months, and under the under the supervision of your foreign advisor. For example, last year I was I was doing my internship or kind of research at Michigan State University, and my university here, Kazakh National University, paid for everything. That was the support actually. And for the professors coming here, we invite them for, I don't know, for 10 days, 10 lecturing days. It's kind of 2 weeks. If you have something to add, then.
Let me say that because of the crisis today, the funding of the for the invited professors program is reduced, and we hope that our government will find another for another 1 year or 2 years some finance, and it is a problem for us because every year we had about 22 professors, and including co-supervisors from other universities. Okay, we have not so much time. Can we just move to another question? And I want to give a floor to the Scranton University. Scranton University.
Hi. I have a question.
It's our Scranton University. Oljas is here. Okay, last year, in Nauris time, we have spent 10 wonderful days in Scranton University, and I see all my friends, colleagues, and I want and we hope that we will have some students from Scranton, or we will start the new program with Scranton, and I know that Anne is a supervisor of the Asian Studies program. Can you say a little bit about this program for our faculty, because I know that you are going to include Central Asia in this program, please.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. Asian Studies program at the University of Scranton is an interdisciplinary program. And so, in other words, then we have courses, and the faculty join from about 15 different academic departments. So, including history department. And so Dr. Brennan is with us today. And also, for example, religious studies, theology department, and I don't know whether you can see Father Sivalang on the side here, but he's there, even though he's invisible. When you teach in religious studies and theology, you become very spiritual, so you can see him, but he's there. Anyway, so for example, his courses like Religions of the World is also part of our program, and myself, in addition to being the director of the Asian Studies program, I also teach in philosophy department. Then a good colleague and friend, that is Dr. Maxell, right next to me. She's also affiliated with Asian Studies program, and she teaches intercultural communication. She's in the communication department. So then we also have a faculty from political science, and also international studies program. That is program that is run and supported by both political science and the history department. And we also have world languages and cultures department that support languages requirement for our students and so on. So currently we do offer regularly Chinese, Mandarin Chinese, Japanese, Also, we have sometimes we do the rotation, but not all the time. About rushing, we over rushing sometimes. We're over rushing. And then other languages which are important for Central Asia, such as Arabic, we also offer that regularly. So with that said, our program will be very happy to be a platform, to provide a platform to function as the bridge between Al-Farabi University and the University of Scranton, with the support of our provost, Dr. Harrington here. So I think we are our focus now in Asian Studies program is more toward East Asian program, but we are very interested in branching out to Central Asia. And so I heard from Rebecca that she's running the possibility of running a travel course to take some of our students going over there perhaps for 2 weeks. That's a possibility we are working very hard on. And Brendan, Dr. Brendan Shang, you are going to offer a course possibly for Central Asia, right? History of Central Asia.
Yes, eventually, yeah, that is the plan.
Eventually, Sean will be interested in over introduction.
In about a year.
In about a year for on Central Asia. So these are the possibility we are working on because we want to expand Asian Studies program. So because it's called Asian Studies, it's not just East Asian Studies. So our long-term goal is to branch out, to expand to Central Asia, to South Asia. So with Al-Farabi University's partnership here, that will make this very possible prospect for us. And couple other things I thought would be great is if Al-Farabi is interested in doing or provide online courses that can enrich our curriculum here. We could make that through discussion a course student can take here and they can take it for credits. As how we are doing that then we will not have to be bound by the distance, geographic distance. Our student can take that as modular courses that can count as a 3-credit course there. I understand that requires discussion, but I think the equipment, technology make that possible. And that can be one sustainable way to expand the partnership here. Another thing we mentioned before is by the MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, that can include both exchange student and the exchange faculty agreement. So we have templates there. We have done that with many different universities. So if Al-Farabi University and University of Scranton, we want to establish that, we can discuss that too. That will make it possible for both students from Al-Farabi University to come here either for a few weeks or for longer term, 1 semester. That would be possible that they pay their own room and board, but they don't have to pay tuition to our university. They just pay tuition to the home university there. So it can be a big saving for Al-Farabi students. And our students here, whether it's faculty taking students there for short-term study, or students really go on their own for 1 semester, we can do a reciprocal exchange agreement on that. And another thing I thought can be very wonderful for faculty research and teaching program is our faculty can go over there short term, 1 month to 3 months a semester, or even 1 year. That can be a possibility. Or Al-Farabi's faculty would like to come here to use Scranton as a home base, and then conduct research in US. We have a very good geographic location here, 2 hours to New York, 2 hours to Philly, 3 to 4 hours to Washington, D.C. It's an ideal location. And the same thing about
4 hours
to
Boston.
To Boston.
Yeah.
4 hours to Boston. You read my mind. So,
I was out there on Tuesday.
so in other words, then Alpha Robin faculty will be welcome here to do research. And when they are here, another possibility, if they are interested, is to teach intense course. Depending upon the time they will be here, and that can be discussed as well. And it has been done before with faculty from other countries. We can schedule, depending upon their time, a shorter intensive course. Even 3 weeks, we can make it happen. Or even or longer ones will be 1 semester. That will be regular semester course. So we are very open to many different ways we can collaborate to provide programs that will enrich our student learning and our faculty development as well. And we want to provide this as a mutual partnership with Alpha Rabi University. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Anne. We know you are so kind people, and you are our friends, and I hope we can discuss all forms of our cooperation between our universities. And let me first, Rebecca and Sean, Dr. Harrington, let me introduce our students who are going for 2 weeks, for 3 or 2 weeks. It's Ainura, Дамир, Абай, Яросвел, ты, может, подойдешь? And Darmen. Okay, these 5 guys, they are going to spend 3 and 2 weeks at your university. And also, I think that it's very important to start our cooperation with a student exchange, MA student exchange. And also, I hope, we are trying to solve the issue, the problem with invitation of Sean Brennan at our university. It's only problem, only the question of finance, and we are trying to solve it. But nevertheless, we are ready to cooperate with you, and I think we can start with the online video courses for your students, because I know the most important problem for our cooperation is, to make Central Asia attractive for your students. That is why, if you have some question about it, maybe somebody from maybe our students want to ask something.
Hello, everybody. Let me introduce myself. My name is Abay, and I'm a student of master's degree. And nice to meet with all of you. As Fatima Torana mentioned, I'm going to visit Scranton University for 2 weeks. And the purpose of my visiting is to make a scientific research. And the topic of my dissertation is geopolitical interest of the USA in Asia-Pacific region, and it intersects with Chinese policy. And I have one question. Can you tell me about the library of the Scranton University?
Okay, want to say something?
The library sources.
See, what can we tell about the library?
Yes, our library is wonderful.
Enough, I know your library, and all just can say that your library is wonderful.
Yes. We will, when you come here, we will put you into contact with a specific reference librarian who will serve as your contact in the library. So it's good to know your interests so that we can choose the proper reference librarian. So you should have a specific person that you can talk to that will help you with the library. But we have access to many, many resources, a lot of databases that we subscribe to, which will allow you to get full text of whatever research studies you're looking at. So we will work one-on-one with you.
And we have policy too.
And we have policy, that's right.
Yeah, so if there's a book that we don't have at this library, we have a cooperative relationship with a whole bunch of others in New York and Philadelphia, and we can get it within a day or two.
Yes. And if it's not whole book, if you know the particular chapter or the pages you need, it comes within 24 hours with no problem. It's very fast. The facility of a library is the first rate, and there are now the first floor, the Learning Commons.
The Learning Commons, right?
The Learning Commons.
Newly renovated.
Yes, it's beautiful. Not just beautiful, it's very, very functional. There are many special rooms that you can conduct your small group seminar. You have to make a reservation, but we have persons here. We have faculty here, librarian here. We will be happy to help you. I will be happy to help you to make the room. And so first-rate computer facility there. You can video yourself for the public speaking skill too, right?
Yes.
You can view it yourself right away. Give critique. We'll show you all these wonderful things here. And we have a special collection office. We have media resource center. All those are wonderful resources.
Not forgetting, it's open 24 hours on the first floor.
Yes.
Okay. For students, is I mean, it is wonderful.
Yes.
And you can. I know students can bring in food on the first floor 24 hours.
Yes.
And there's a coffee shop right there.
Right. This is
a coffee shop right there.
Yeah, it is amazing.
We see your we see your library is wonderful. Let me say that if we are we are continuing and we are going to send our students to Scranton, but with American councils we have 1 year, less than 1 year, about 1 year cooperation of student mobility. Margaret and Graham, the floor is yours. Could you tell a little bit about our program, and maybe you see some, Margaret?
Sure. Yes, let me start. Thank you very much for having this conference. We are very pleased to have this cooperation with Al-Farabi National University and with the International Relations Department in particular. Just to say, this is my supervisor. Graham Hetlinger is our director for higher education. And my name is Margaret Stevenson. I'm a program manager for Russian language programs overseas. At American Councils, we work with students from all across the U.S., and some international students come to us as well. We work to send students abroad to develop their Russian language skills, but also we find a growing number of students who have other interests that they would like to pursue when they go abroad. I thought I would say just a few words first about some of the challenges. There are certainly barriers. Some people have mentioned already barriers to sending students abroad. One of them being financial. Most students are eligible for scholarships that they apply to for going for their study abroad. But that's always a big question for students, is who is going to pay for their experience? How will they make that work? There also can be family barriers. Their home families may not understand, as you say, why Central Asia, why go so far away? Psychological barriers of dealing with adjustment or homesickness that may be fears before they go, or that may be issues when they're abroad. But also, in terms of academic barriers, ideally the study abroad experience fits within a student's home program of study. And so there are questions then of how credit will transfer back, and how they can complete the requirements they need to fulfill for their degree. A growing number of students, it seems, have double or even triple majors in the U.S., and some may have very specific requirements they need to complete for graduation. So finding classes at Al-Farabi Kazakh National University, for instance, that would fit into their programs are a big question. Whether there are prerequisites for joining classes abroad, what the language of instruction is going to be, what the dates of the semester or the program are, because often they're different. And then also some of the home universities will ask for information in advance to get a syllabus, to know what the students are going to be doing specifically in their time overseas. And I thought interesting to say there is, I think, a growing number of students who are in what we call the STEM fields. So this is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. I looked at, you may know the IIE, Institute for International Education, publishes information every year about students who are going overseas. And the top major fields that U.S. students who are going overseas come from are first and foremost science, technology, engineering, and math. In 2013 and to 2014, for that year, that's the most recent data, 23% of students going overseas came from these fields, science, technology, engineering, and math. The next most was from business, then social sciences, foreign language, and fine arts. Yeah. The number of students, of course, who participate in study abroad in general is not that large. From all of the U.S., just over 300,000 students went overseas in 2013 to 2014. Of that number, less than 1% go to Russian-speaking countries, so Russia and Eurasia combined. We certainly hope to encourage students. We believe very strongly in the merits of study abroad, and it is our job also to encourage students to go, and to go for a semester or for a year, and we hope to be able to facilitate students and helping them to find their way and to navigate study abroad in fields in addition to foreign language.
Okay, thank you, Margaret. I have a question. What do you think about the results of our, about the first semester, first group of students? What did they say about the quality of our, learning, teaching quality of Russian and?
I think the first semester went very well. I think it was very successful. I think that and for those who may not know, our students do focus mostly on Russian language. That is the purpose of their time abroad. And I think that the Russian language instruction was very good. I think students were very pleased, and they made a lot of progress.
And yeah, I just add, for us, one of the, it's been a very important partnership with us with Al-Farabi, and I think Margaret and I and the students, everything we've seen are very positive reports about the quality of instruction and the program overall. I think it's been a big success, and it's been a very important one for us. In part also because of new funding restrictions in the United States today. Students who want to study Russian in a Russian-speaking environment and can no longer go to Russia, I think are finding Kazakhstan a really valuable place to be. I think they're developing from their time in Kazakhstan a new interest in Central Asia, and I think at the same time they're benefiting a lot from the linguistic environment, so it's been a nice combination of both a chance to pursue Russian language, but also to learn and develop some new interests about Central Asia. So I think it's become really fortuitous, and that it's also promoting Central Asian studies to kind of a new clientele, which I think is exciting. But the partnership with Al-Farabi for us has been extremely important, and we're really pleased with it, and we're very glad to be working with you all.
Thank you. Maybe other participants have some questions to Margaret or Graham. Maybe Scranton University is interested in our experience of cooperation.
Well, I just had one question about the way your international relations master's and PhD students, what they focus on. Do you have some who focus on relations between Central Asia and the United States and Canada, and others who focus on international relations between, say, Central Asia and the European Union? Does it really depend on where the students' interests are?
Okay.
For the IR department.
Okay. As a professor of IR Department of Faculty, I want to say, Sean, that yeah, we have a since second year we have a since second year or the first year. First year. We have a specialization. Second year, we have a specialization on a different regions and countries, and of course, Central Asia is like in a center of all the, I mean, our study programs, and the U.S., European Union, Central Asian countries. I mean, less Russia. It's a very Asia Pacific region. It's very, I mean, interesting for our students. I think, Ainura, can you say about regional studies? What kind of regions you are?
Generally, now we are focusing on Central Asian studies at our MA courses. We learn regionalization, regional studies. Yes, this the series of the regional studies. Generally we specialize on Central Asia, but we also, for example, at the first semester, we have learned more, how to say, we learned more about different regions generally. But now we focus more on Central Asia and its relations with other regions, and also.
Okay. They start with the theory, but we have our programs. They cover all regions, Eastern and Western, and also our students they study. They learn two foreign languages: English, of course, and or French or German, and one Eastern like Arabic. Turkish, да, еще. Ну, говорите, я же не знаю ваше региональное видение. And other languages. That is why Central Asia is the center, and I think it's most important for us. But today, I can say that China, as Abai mentioned, China is very popular among our students, and Asia Pacific regions, and of course, US and the European Union. Okay, do you have any other questions? I think Harry and Maksat could add something because they are like coordinators of our cooperation between American Council and Al Farabi University.
One thing that I wanted to add on to what Margaret had said about how there were almost a quarter of students who study abroad are from STEM fields was that we had a very successful experience this past semester ongoing with one of our students who came here for the semester. Anna Sklener, she wanted to take a mechanics class, and she had planned things accordingly so that during the semester she would be able to take that here. And me, along with Olzhanya Sedovna, who's the head of diplomatic translations at the International Relations Department, helped Anna to enroll in a class which is called Experimental Mechanics. She meets twice a week with a group and the teacher. There's only 2 other students in the group. And so far it's been a great success. We have this experience with us. It's been very positive. We also had a student last semester who took a class at the history department called Modern Islamic Movements. That also went very well. There were also only 2 students in that class. So in terms of the quantity of students, it's great for our students who enroll, since they have a great opportunity to interact with the students as well as the teacher. Yeah, so that's we have this experience behind us, and we know how to make this happen. So we would be interested in having other students from the STEM fields to come and enroll through American Councils at KazNU and take either STEM classes. And of course, we would be interested in having any and all students. But with this experience, we know how to help them take classes. And additionally, she's receiving credit for this. She went through the process, and once she finishes her exams in May, she'll be able to receive credit for it. So yeah, it's been a positive experience overall.
Maybe other participants have some questions? No? Okay. Let me introduce Mikhail Molchanov, our my old friend, and he's a very active with the cooperation, like a co-supervisor. And Mikhail, say a few words about our cooperation, and maybe you have some, remarks about our cooperation with other universities.
Okay. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Well, we are very pleased at St. Thomas University at the level of cooperation we are having with Al-Farabi University, and we're also trying to expand to other universities in Kazakhstan, like Lev Gumilov Eurasian University in particular. I personally have supervised now 3 PhD candidates from these universities, and I currently have one more. So we are very actively working in this regard. As I mentioned, last year we had a visitor, a PhD candidate from Al-Farabi, who visited St. Thomas campus. Our opportunities to expand cooperation are limited a little bit because we are primarily an undergraduate university. So for the reasons you already mentioned, the approximation of programs, the programs for credit, courses for credit, and so on and so forth, it's a bit difficult to develop a steady student exchange program, but we are working in this regard. And I also want to mention that, say a few words about Canada in general. I think there is a growing interest in the region, Central Asia and Central Eurasia, and I see that we have few traditional programs which are expanding in Canada, but also some new programs are being built up. Among the traditional programs, Carleton University Institute of European, Russian, and Eurasian Studies has been doing studies and exchanges with Central Asia for some time. Among the newly developed, in Toronto, both the Monk School of International Affairs of Toronto University now has a Central Asia program, and it's a relatively new one. And York University, another school in Toronto, has developed the Center for Asian Research, and they're working very actively in this direction. Also of interest, I need to mention the Seneca College in Toronto, which is a primarily undergraduate institution, same as my university, St. Thomas. Seneca College has developed ties with Aga Khan, University of Central Asia, which I believe also has a campus in Kazakhstan. So this is one more option for Al-Farabi to look at and to see the resources available there. On the Pacific Coast, University of British Columbia mostly focuses on China and Japan, but they also have people, individual faculty members, active in Central Asian studies, both at UBC and at Simon Fraser University in Vancouver. And this is another area to expand. So I think the possibilities are very good. Fatima mentioned that we are both our countries, Canada and Kazakhstan, are in a bit of a budgetary crunch now because of oil prices. Of course, Canada is a major oil producer, same as Kazakhstan. So we experience in a bit of this crunch right now, but we remain hopeful that our programs will grow and develop and that we will overcome these temporary difficulties. In the meantime, working as now online and by Skype and how we can to expand these ties and to do our best to help our PhD candidates in Al-Farabi University. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. And I have a question for Margaret. Можно Margaret включить? As I know, we are happy that you are going to send about 30 students for summer courses, yeah?
Yeah.
And we hope that it will extend our, cooperation. And me and Harry, we are ready. And Harry is happy. He was so happy. Yeah. And we are preparing now for, for hosting your students. And Uljan is a coordinator on the language courses, and I'm as a coordinator of other things. And I hope that when I first met Graham, he was very enthusiastic about it. And Margaret, I can say that we are preparing. You should not worry about it. And also, we are preparing for. We are preparing for hosting your 4 research students.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So thank you for your participating in this conference. And if you have some remarks, some questions for us about your students and their study here, you can ask now, looking at our faces. And Marcel, okay. Do you have any questions for?
I mean, I guess.
Do you have any questions? No. No.
We don't have
questions.
questions.
Okay. And for Scranton, I can say that I hope that our 5 students, they will be like a pioneers, and they will be like a, creators or builders of the bridge between Al-Farabi and Scranton University, because Oljas was first pioneer. And these 5 MA students, I hope, and you can use them, they just to explain for your students about Central Asia, about Kazakhstan, because I know that it is, it is rather difficult to find students who are interested in Central Asia, and our students, they will be like a promoters of these new courses. And Mikhail, thank you very much for your participating in our conference. I'm sorry that Marcela from Nazarbayev University couldn't just join us. I know that it is morning in Canada and America, and you have a lot of work to do, and it's night here, and hope to see you again, and we can just connect through Skype, as Mikhail mentioned, and other ways. Okay, thank you for everybody. If you have no...
Thank you very much.
Спасибо большое.
Bye.
Спасибо. Спасибо.
Спасибо.